This week's episode of Fairy Tale had me laughing more than relief, and not for the best reasons. This is the ending of the Dragon arc, and everything's supposed to be concluded and finished here. But here's my problem. I brought this up when it first came up. The whole time travel issue. When you bring in time travel, it is very easy to screw up your story, to make it jointed. It just feels scattered and not well constructed. And it really all depends on the ending. And this ending didn't do a good job of making me feel like this is a natural thing, a natural progression for the story to take. Because, alright, here's the thing. They fixed everything. Apparently, now the future Rogue never came back to the past. And yet, they still have all their memories of the dragons and future Rogue. And it just like, wait, because then if future Rogue never came to the past to get the dragons and attack, then you wouldn't have had memories of him. See, that's the problem. And there'll probably be a lot of suspension of disbelief. It's a world filled with magic, whatever. Maybe the magic defended their memories. No, the buildings are clearly still destroyed, so the destruction still happened. You can't erase that. Magic has nothing to do with the building staying intact, so yeah, magic has nothing to do with it. But still, it felt like, yeah, I'm confused, and this is not a satisfying ending. Too quick. Everything's tied up in a neat old bow. I also didn't like how the portal was destroyed. Now, maybe the angle was wrong. Maybe it was, the dragon was the one that destroyed it by accident. Alright, well, what happened was, Rogue and Natsu are still fighting, debating about who's right and who's wrong. Right and who's wrong. I do like those debates. I do like them. In fact, I almost kind of agreed with Rogue. And Natsu, with his self-defeating argument, he's going around saying everyone has a choice about their future. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, future Rogue is somebody. He also has a choice. In fact, he's pretty much made his choice. He wants to save the future from Agnologia's wrath with an army of dragons. I mean, his method isn't right, but he clearly has a pretty decent end goal there, man. So I don't see why he's being made out to be the heartless villain. But either way, that's why I strongly believe that not all main characters in Shonen, or in fact any show at all, need to have this big epic speech and have to prove the villain wrong or right. It's just you're hurting my friends. That's enough reason for me. I don't care who's right and who's wrong. I don't care about some moral issue. No political issue. None of that. You hurt my friends. That's my reason to take you down. And that would have been fine, but not to have to be around going saying, no, we all have our choices for the future. We all have the right to choose our path and all that shit. But again, Rogue is somebody too. He chose a path. Why is his right wrong and yours idea of what's right? It's come on, man. Selfish much. But, whatever. And Atlas Flame kind of, looks like he flicks Natsu like a booger right at future Rogue. And I guess they start, like a meteor keening for the portal. And it's destroyed immediately, instant. None of Lucy's or any of her attacks, none of that with her spirits were able to destroy a portal. But Natsu with his headbutt, a flaming headbutt with future Rogue destroys it. But then I see the dragon there. I was like, how'd the dragon get there? I didn't see him get hit by Natsu's headbutt. So it's not very clear how it was destroyed. Me personally, since it wasn't shown very clearly, maybe the angle's wrong, I'm going to say it was the dragon who went in back first against the portal, and his weight was enough to destroy the portal. and it wasn't actually Natsu. He's so powerful, and the fire, his headbutt can destroy the portal. No. It was a dragon. That's my explanation. I'm going for that. It's the most believable and the least ridiculous. So I'm going for that. And now, a big issue I did like about this episode was the idea that the Dragon Slayers, are sitting there, and even Mavis is up there in the sky, and they're all saying the same thing. Not a single Dragon Slayer was able to take down a dragon by themselves. And Natsu didn't defeat his dragon. He just convinced him to join his side. That's it. Now, technically, I guess he did take down Mother Glare, but that was with Atlas Flame's help. So we can still say Natsu does not defeat a dragon. Although they did bring up that scene from the first episode of this new series where he's fighting a bunch of dragons in this whole destroyed city and flames everywhere. And it looked like he was taking down dragon after dragon, like just knocking them out of the sky, no problem. I have no idea what that's about. Maybe that was an hallucination or a dream or the future where Natsu was more powerful for some reason than the present Natsu. I don't have no idea. That scene literally meant nothing. It was not in the present. It could be hinted it was in the future, but again, I have no idea. So whatever. That scene, really not important. So again, no Dragon Slayer took down a single dragon, and that was great. That was beautiful. And I know what they were going for when they wanted to end this episode as quickly as they did, because they wanted to emphasize, yeah, the Dragon Slayers needed some Deus Ex Machina, some MacGuffin to take care of the dragons for them and make them realize, well, shit, we won, but I don't know, we pretty much lost. The dragons kicked our asses, and I like that. That's good. I like what this episode was building up to that, and then it just goes into Futuro explaining how it came to be. And apparently 1 year from now, Frosch dies by someone. Someone kills him. And that is enough for Futuro to go evil and come with a dragon army and destroy the world. So I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. Because that would mean everything that's happened so far, all that destruction and death, was because of Frosch. Frosch, you bastard. You were the glue holding this world together, apparently. You had one job, and that was to keep Rogue from turning evil. You couldn't do that right. You just had to be selfish and die, and forcing Rogue to go down the dark path and turn evil, kill his best friend, get an army of dragons, and go burn the world. Damn you, Frosch. Damn you. I'm wondering who would want to go out of the way to kill Frosch. Maybe someone knew Rogue would go evil, and that's what they wanted. Or maybe there's an organization that believes Frosch is the greatest threat in the world to them. It's like, Frosch, you have a hidden power within you. We have to destroy you now before you obtain that power. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at that. It's just the idea of all this death and destruction happening, all starting with Frosch dying, is just, wow. It's too ridiculous for me to not laugh at least for a while. Maybe I'll take it more seriously later when that year comes and Frosch is his life is being threatened. But for now, I'm laughing my ass off at that idea. And then it ends with future Lucy. Now, it's assumed that maybe she's being sent back to the future with her friends, because now the future is safe. The past, present, the dragons never came. Again, very confusing. But why wasn't it back in the city? Why wasn't she brought back to the city and her friends just staying around her thinking, what are you doing out here laying on the ground? And she's saying, what about the dragons? What dragons? There were never any dragons. Again, time travel, confusing. But no, she's brought back to this big old open grassy field, and she's looking at her friends, and there's a light behind them. It's like, hey, the adventure continues. Let's go, Lucy, yay! And I'm sitting there thinking, did time travel decide to be a dick and not fix the future and just say, no, the future fairy tale members are still dead. You're dead too, Lucy. Welcome to heaven. It's a big old open grassy field. Go running and frolicking, screaming adventure with your friends. Because that's what it looked like. I know they were going for a visually beautiful ending, you know, like, oh, she's back with her friends, yay. But the fact that it's a big old grassy field and there's a light behind her friends and most of her friends are in shadow, it just implies to me that she's dead, she was sent to heaven, and they're her friends from the future in heaven with her. Apparently, time decided to be a dick and just like say, I'm not gonna fix the future. The future, you know, I'm too lazy. Fairy tale members are still dead in the future somehow. It wasn't by dragons this time. It just they're still dead though. Okay. I mean, I had fun watching the episode, but probably not for the right reasons. I mean, this was a very rushed ending, and yeah, time travel is not the easiest thing to write into a story, and this is a good example as to why, especially the ending. It can either make or break the entire arc of time travel. So, you know, usually time is so easy to understand. It's just a big old line, past, present, future, la 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 la. But as soon as you even the smallest finger through a time travel portal, it's like, oh look, a portal to the future. Poke. Boom, the time stream just goes all haywire, just webbing everywhere. It's like, it's very delicate. So really, this episode left me more confused about how I feel about this whole arc than it actually gave me satisfaction that it's over. It's just, the only satisfaction I got was knowing the Dragon Slayers realized, well shit, we suck as Dragon Slayers. We don't deserve this title because we couldn't slay a single dragon. That was really the only aspect I liked. And maybe I like the whole Frosch dies in the future and that's what leads to Rogue's character development. Maybe. Again, right now as it is, I can't take it seriously, but wow, this episode just left me confused. And I'm not going to hate it, but I also don't know if I love it. I just don't know. I just sitting here thinking, okay, this episode happened. That's how the arc ended. What's going to happen next arc? And I guess I am curious about what's going to happen next arc. I mean, are they going to build off the fact that we need to get stronger? Because what if another dragon attacks? What if Acnologia attacks? He's stronger than any other dragon. You know, they got to go through some development. So hopefully they go through that next arc. And if they do, good. All right, I'll be excited again. So until then, you know, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye bye.